Hi, welcome to another edition of Long Shots TV. I'm your host, TheRhino. Alongside me again is my cohort, Donnie, RightSide. How you doing, Donnie?
Doing good, my man. Doing
how,
good.
how you like my haircut?
Beautiful. Looking sexy as always over there.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to talk a little MAC action football tonight, guys. We just thought this would be interesting to bring to you since it's one of my favorite conferences. I know it is for you too, Donnie.
hmm
It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of scoring, good football, and over here in this division, it's just one that it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, last night started off action first. Tuesday night doubleheader of the year. Turned out very profitable for me last night. As you know, I hit the NIU over 44.5. What did they end up with, Tony? 45.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter if they ended up with 95. 45 was just right for me.
absolutely, and that's all that matters. A win is a win.
Exactly. And then
So
last night with Western Michigan last night, clearly the cream of the crop in the MAC, just a runaway winner last night, just scoring at will. So, I mean, heading down the stretch, it's going to be fun to see with this MAC team being Western Michigan. Can they invade that New Year's Bowl 6? I think they can get in. Obviously, I'm not going to get in the top 4, but I think they can make a New Year's New Year's Day Bowl, and represent the MAC pretty well.
yeah, absolutely. So give us a rundown of the MAC this year, what you've seen so far, and where we stand right now.
I mean, the MAC it's topsy-turvy. I mean, the records don't look good because obviously most of these teams are playing Power 5 conferences there. I still think Ohio is going to sneak in the one division, and obviously Western Michigan's going to get in the other division. Toledo is in a huge game tonight with Akron. Akron still has an outside shot if they run the table. I don't think they have enough firepower to do it, but I think, again, just like we called it at the beginning of the year, Western Michigan's going to come in on one side, Ohio on the other, but
Right.
Western Michigan, Tony, is the clear favorite here.
Oh
I
yeah.
had Ohio winning the MAC outright overall when the season began, but a lot of injuries popped up. They have rebounded a little bit. Looks like they steadied the ship. Defense is playing very good football, but Western Michigan is the complete package.
Yeah.
Quarterback, wide receiver, defense, running back. They've got it all. Head coaching, intangibles, you name it.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, they started off with Northwestern in Evanston in one
Yeah.
22-21. North Carolina Central, a little bit easier game. They won 70-21, but they beat Illinois, Georgia Southern, Central Michigan, Northern Illinois. I mean,
Pounding the teams, too. Pounding these MAC teams
oh
as
yeah.
well.
This is not some kind of slouch wins. It's
Yeah.
and I think it's all because of the defense. They've got a solid defense. They're good on both sides of the ball, and I think they'll, as long as they stay healthy, they're obviously going to win out.
Yeah, Galladay from NIU and Davis from Western Michigan. Two front runners, two NFL players at wide receiver, and then just back it up, as we said again. Zach Terrell, quarterback, is fantastic, and they run three deep at running back. They can just pound it. They can do whatever you want to do and then play defense on top of it because they're not a real MAC team. A
Oh
real
yeah.
MAC team you're going to see tonight, which is Toledo.
Yeah.
Fantastic wide receivers, great running game, good quarterback, good line, but questionable defense. That's not Western Michigan.
Yeah, and that's been Toledo's Achilles heel for years is the
Yep.
defense. I mean, they're
Sure.
prolific on offense. They throw the ball often and put up big numbers, but that defense just needs some work on there. I'm not sure if they can get that fixed over the next coming years as far as what's coming in as
Yeah,
for
I
talent.
mean that's just the way the MAC is. Like you can only take a certain amount of athletes and just stack them. The way the MAC always operates is you have to have some offense. You have to be able to score some points. Because if you look at Kent State actually should be going bowling this year, but their record doesn't show it. I mean, you
Right.
have to be able to score somewhere in the high 20s to high 30s to have a chance, and they've blown way too many games down the stretch. But again, you can't expect to win games when you're scoring 17 to 24 points a game in the MAC.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Toledo, I mean, looking at their record, Arkansas State, Fresno State, 52-17, BYU, 53-55. That was a loss, but they hung right in there with it. Bowling Green, of course, they beat them 42-35, and then lost to Ohio. But again, they stayed real close with Ohio, which surprised me. You know, it's it's one of those situations where it's just so it's hard to tell what's going to happen, and that's what I like about MAC action football. You never know what's going to happen. These guys look solid. Of course, Western Michigan looks like the clear shot runaway, but it's just a lot of fun to watch. They score a lot of points, and some of the plays that you see, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at the two football teams playing tonight. If we reverse back 1 week on this, you had Ohio and Toledo. Toledo at home in the Glass Bowl.
Yep.
Very tough to beat them there. They're laying 15 points at home against an inferior Ohio team. Again, Ohio, good defense, struggling on offense. Toledo should have put them away. Minus 15, they end up losing the game by a touchdown. Then if you roll reverse again back with Akron and Buffalo. Buffalo's one of the worst teams in the MAC. Akron's going on the road laying almost 20 points in that one, and they got beat by 20 points. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just right down to the gun. Whoever's going to play well, some fluke bounces, one team doesn't show up, that's the MAC. Because you'd be hard-pressed to see, like in the Big Ten, Ohio State's laying 20 points to get beat by 20 points. It doesn't happen,
Right.
but that's why they call it MACtion.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see any other surprises coming out of there? Is there anything, noteworthy that could turn something around in this next week or two?
Not really. I mean, NIU, now that they have Anthony Matty at quarterback, have now looked like the team they were supposed to be all along. Drew Hare going down in the second game of the season certainly didn't help anything from them. Graham is not a very good quarterback for NIU, but Matty does exactly what they want. A lot of jet sweeps, a lot of fly sweeps, a lot of read option quarterback. He's got a good arm. Obviously has some weapons on the outside with Galladay and obviously Bonyan in the backfield. A very good football team. They might make a little bit of steam down the stretch because it looks like they've won, I believe now, I think it's 3 out of 4 they've won. And
Right.
heading into the last couple games, they can definitely play that spoiler mode. They have a great coaching staff, and now it looks like, as I said, rounding in with Shawan Laurie, their All-American cornerback. I can't really say All-American, he's like a third team, but
Right.
let's just call it a first-team All-MAC cornerback. He's a pretty good football player in that long list of DBs that they've sent to the NFL at NIU. So, I mean, I think they can play a little bit of spoiler down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a shot at that. I was surprised to see, Western Michigan ranked number 17 in the Associated Press top 25 poll, number 18 in the Amway USA Today coaches poll.
Yep.
Only one of 5 teams that remain undefeated. So they're bowl eligible for the 3rd straight year.
Yeah, PJ Fleck's he's a hot commodity in the offseason, Tony.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Western Michigan. He's going to be moving on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. So, everybody's looking at Western Michigan to move on there. Is there anybody on their schedule upcoming that you think may give them trouble?
It's going to be tough because, they're the only thing that might trip them up a little bit is, in the MAC, you're going to give your best shot regardless of who you play. But now you have that target on your chest. You can have a groundbreaking win, a win that can push your university into the spotlight. You can get some recruits on. You can hang your hat on that type of team. But I just don't think it's going to happen with how well they play. If you look down the stretch, the one team, again, if they get hot, they're as good as anybody, and that's Toledo. They're going to meet up with on the 25th in the final game of the season, but they do have that game at home. Kent State, Western Michigan's just going to put them away pretty easily. Buffalo, same exact thing, and Buffalo's a home game. I wouldn't be surprised if that line ends up somewhere around 28 to 30 points. And then with Toledo, they're still going to be a 10-point favorite over Toledo unless something happens, maybe an injury to Bogan or Franklin in the running back position for Western Michigan, or maybe Zach Terrell goes down. But, they're going to win tonight, I believe. Tonight might be one of their last real shots at losing because it's a road game midweek. Akron does have some athletes. I don't see them losing tonight. They are favored by double digits, but if Toledo wins tonight and just builds that momentum and goes down, I think they can hang with Western Michigan, but I don't see any surprises out of the last 3 games for them.
All right, that looks good to me. Let's look at the odds real quick. I just showed the Toledo-Akron game. Toledo's favored by 10 in this game. Do you have a line on the other game, Donnie?
Only one game tonight, Tony. They spread the other. They usually have a doubleheader tomorrow. They just put Buffalo.
They moved
Ohio
it out,
tomorrow.
right? Yeah, okay, I see that one now. I was looking on the wrong line, but Ohio's favored by 20. At home.
Interesting game. The one thing with that game tomorrow, I haven't dipped really into it, but if you just look on it as it face, it looks like a high line to 20. But the one thing that Buffalo does is they can run the football. They can't pass the football. They have a big athletic quarterback, 6'6" kid who can run around, not very accurate, can't pass very well at all. But as I said, they can run the ball. The one thing Ohio does very well, Tony, best front 7 in the MAC. They're going to be able to stop that run. So if you're going to rely on Buffalo to be in a passing contest with anything, they're not going to do very well. But again, it's hard to take a line, 3 touchdowns in the MAC because you never know with such type of fluke stuff. But in this game, this is, what I do best is what you do worst, and that's an interesting type of matchup there. I'm not sure if Ohio can cover the 20. As I said, I'll look into it a lot more tomorrow. But just looking at it there, that front seven from Ohio is not going to let Buffalo run the football tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just interesting note here that on the point spread, right at what time am I looking at? 6:42 p.m. Eastern Time. 100% of the money is on Buffalo. 100%. So that tells you a little bit about right there. And then the money line is 95%.
Yeah.
So people are looking at Buffalo to upset Ohio. But like you said, that they're going to be able to stop that run game, I think. And
Ohio is finally getting healthy there. They're going to have Pappy White back. They're going to have Maxwell quarterback. Still waiting to get one of the wide receivers, Cope, back into the lineup. He was a major threat last year. But even if he doesn't show up there again, Buffalo, I like to look at last week's game where they routed, scored 41 points and had an easy victory over Akron. That's sort of a little, unicorn-type game. I don't think that's going to resurface. But that, again, when you match it up with the public's going to say, wait a second, Buffalo won by 20 last week, was getting 20, same exact scenario. Right. It's not, and that's why they build new buildings in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. So be careful of that line. Sure. Well, so tonight we got Woodson and Woodside.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be a good one. I look forward to it. Like I said, the total, Toledo's favored by 10 on the road, and Toledo's getting 66% of the point spread money, and about 49% of the money line money. And the total is pretty evenly split, which I find interesting, Donnie, at 72 and a half on some lines.
I've been bouncing between 71.5 and 73, just ping-ponging back and forth. But it looks like the line that most of the wagers are on looks like 72 around that area.
Yeah, Toledo's been averaging, about 46 points a game? And I think that's
it's kind of interesting because if you look at Toledo overall, I mean, they have the ammunition to get to that whatever number it is. I know their team total is right around 40.5, I believe, today, and they can certainly hit that. But if you look outside of the Bowling Green game, they haven't even come close to coming into the 70s. So an interesting one tonight. But again, you're looking at the MAC where it's a midweek game. This is their spotlight game, which means watch out for a fake punt. Last night there was a couple of them. Watch out for some crazy trick plays. Watch out for we're going for it on 4th and 4 at our own 40-yard line, because these are the type of games that you want to put your foot out there. You want to be remembered. Maybe recruits are watching. You want to show like a fun type of brand of football with 3,000 people in the bleachers. So it's always an interesting game to cap because sometimes the coaches do things out of the box, but that's just the way the MAC is.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this conference so much fun, Donnie.
Yep. And they put it midweek. It's awesome.
Yep. All right, so we're looking forward to that game. We're also looking forward to the World Series Game 7. I'm so glad it came down to Game 7. Can't wait. It couldn't end any better. And my prediction, guys, this is me talking. I think it's a Cinderella story. It's too sweet of a story not to have the Cubs win after 108 years and coming back from a 3-1 deficit. What do you think?
How about we make them sweat a little bit and take it to extra innings tonight? Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, man, that Chicago is going to burn tonight.
Win or lose.
Yep. All right, man. Well, it's good talking to you again. We'll look forward to talking to you later on toward the weekend, and we'll talk some more football action and a few other things that may be coming up. So make sure you guys go over to see Donnie RightSide or DonnieRightSide.com. You can reach us also here at TrendBetting.com. And just remember to take a shot with the long shots because we are the game, brother.
Take care, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.